Both my husband and I work full-time. I work real estate and he works at a shipyard. We both collectively work around 50 to 60-hour weeks. We have 4 kids, 13 years old twins, 12 years old, and 8 mo. My husband has every weekend off. I do not. I implicated a chore system from the time my kids were little, but ever since I had the baby and since the kids are older, all of them have slacked off tremendously, including husband. I pick our baby up from daycare around 5 p.m. and when I get home, I usually find my husband on the couch on his phone and the kids in their rooms playing video games / watching makeup tutorials. The house is generally a mess and honestly, the only issue I have is the dishes. I couldn't give fuck all about anything else, because the rest of the house generally isn't dirty, just cluttered. But I have expressed several times that I am tired of having to wash all the dishes in order to cook and have lashed out in some not so nice ways, shut off the internet entirely and took the cord with me to work so no one could use the Wi-Fi / watch TV, cancelled family trips, gradation, got into big arguments with my husband. Things will change for a week to a month and then switch right back to them refusing to help. I'm honestly so tired of it that I don't even have the energy to speak up anymore. As I said, my husband has weekends off so he and the kids were home yesterday while I work. Before I took off for the day I told them, you guys chores had better be completed by the time I get home. They said yes ma'am and I leave. I text husband around 4:30 p.m. asking what they all wanted for dinner because I had to stop off at the grocery store. I pick up what he said they all wanted and walk into my home, to find that not a single dish had been washed and there was at least 10 more dishes in the sink from when I left that morning. I also noted that only a load of laundry had been washed and was still sitting in the washer and was never switched to the dryer. Husband was on his ass on the couch watching YouTube, kids off playing video games, baby in her walker. So, I put the groceries on the table, packed a bag for the baby and told my husband, have at it, I'm going to Applebee's, and left. Maybe 20 minutes later he calls and says I washed the dishes, sorry. I was super tired today. I told him that's zero excuse at all. There's 3 older kids who have chores and he couldn't even step up and tell his kids to complete anything either. It's pure laziness at this point. He said, I know, I'm sorry, I'm trying to work on it. Can you just come home? I don't know how to make this dish. It's a pretty difficult dish, but Google is free. I told him no, I'm sitting at Applebee's and will be enjoying my steak and shrimp with the baby in peace and that him and the older kids can fend for themselves because apology or not, I'm not letting him off the hook here. He had me on speakerphone, so him and all the kids laid right into me, asking me to please grab them something from Applebee's. It's all of our favorite restaurant. I said absolutely not and hung up the phone. When I returned home the groceries had been put away and apparently they had grilled cheese and cereal for dinner. My husband and kids are still pissed at me. I told them this is how it will be every single time they don't do chores from now on.